Good morning. Good morning. I want to thank you for spending this lovely spring morning with us here in the Capitol Rotunda. My name is Rebekah Goodman. I'm the Secretary of the Energy and Environment Cabinet, and we are going to be speaking this morning about the Abandoned Minelands Pilot Program, which has been operated by the Energy and Environment Cabinet since 2016. We've seen over $130 million in federal funds come through this program to go to projects that similar to the ones that you're going to hear about today. They're smart ideas that promise to bring jobs and economic vitality to the former coal lands of Appalachia. In my first year with the program, we had 72 applications. After careful vetting, we were able to recommend 9 of them for the $24 million in program funds. 3 of them have already been introduced to you: the $4 million King's Daughters Health System expansion, the $4.25 million Cancer Center project at Pikeville Medical Center, and the $1.5 million for the East Park building previously announced. But we're pleased to tell you about the remaining 6 today. You're going to hear about 2 projects in separate counties that are going to improve water systems for local regions. You'll hear about funding to improve local lumber merchandising efforts and allow for the reemployment of laid-off workers. You're going to hear about a new welcome center to increase regional motorsport tourism. And you're going to hear about enhancements to a training program in advanced robotic manufacturing. The last project that you'll hear, well, probably not the last, but you'll also hear about a gas expansion, gas service in Harlan County to promote economic development opportunities. Each of these projects has been a collaboration of local, state, and federal efforts. At the state level, in addition to my cabinet, the Energy and Environment Cabinet, we've had great contributions from the governor's senior advisor, Adkins, great contributions from the Cabinet for Economic Development and the Tourism, Arts, and Heritage Cabinet, and many thanks to the Congressman's office and to the AML staff in Energy and Environment for their efforts as well. You're going to hear from 3 distinguished individuals today who have nothing but Kentuckians' best interests at heart. They make life better for us each and every day. Congressman Hal Rogers, who's brought much to his district and to the state. Our Governor Andy Beshear, who through his leadership, especially through the pandemic, has kept us safe, kept our families healthy, kept our economy running, and here who recently has spent untold hours during our snow and ice and flooding events to help the people of Kentucky. You're also going to hear from Senior Advisor Adkins, who never stops fighting for Eastern Kentucky. It's now my great honor to introduce you to Congressman Hal Rogers. He really needs no introduction. The AML pilot program began solely through his advocacy, who, as the former chair of the House Appropriations Committee, fought for the funding for this program through the Federal Office of Surface Mining Reclamation and Enforcement. He and his office have been steadfast partners for the last 6 years, not only in ensuring the funding, but also in providing on-the-ground expertise to me and to the AML staff. And certainly without him and his undying commitment to Eastern Kentucky, none of these projects would have been possible. So please, join me in welcoming Congressman Rogers.
Thank you very much. Governor, excuse me. It's wonderful to be here on this occasion. It's wonderful to be in this building at any time. It's a proud heritage of our state. So, Secretary Goodman, I want to thank you and Governor Beshear for hosting us in the Capitol Rotunda to celebrate some good news for southern and eastern Kentucky. As we all know, our region has really gone through a lot in the last month or so. Last 2 months, we've had the severe weather that impacted eastern Kentucky in an unprecedented danger way. Eastern Kentucky was hit with about 4 straight weeks of severe ice storms with massive power outages, followed by widespread flooding. So I want to begin my talk by letting our people know that we are still working hard to get donated supplies to families who desperately need help. The outpouring of support from across the state and country has been outstanding, and it comes as no surprise because Kentuckians are the best at helping one another. In fact, my staff, scattered all through the district, has personally taken time off from their congressional duties to deliver truckloads of supplies with Operation Unite since week 1, because when one part of our region hurts, we all do. So, Governor, as soon as FEMA assessments are complete for the flooding disaster that we've gone through, I want you to know that I will fully support your request to the President for a major emergency disaster declaration. I've already contacted the White House to support your recent declaration for the ice storm that you've already sent in, and it's my understanding that preliminary counts show we lost more homes than any disaster on record in Kentucky. Sad but true. So I'll urge the President to activate federal assistance to the region as soon as the request is finalized, and I'll hold FEMA's feet to the fire to make sure they are on the job with no unnecessary delays. But today we're going to take a few minutes to deliver some good news to talk about for our region. Before I do that, I want to say very briefly, Governor, of my respect for Al Smith, who passed away, as you have read, in the last few days. Al Smith, age 94, I recollect, he was a great civic leader, in addition to a great journalist and creator and runner of Comment on Kentucky on KET. But he was also a great citizen and civic leader. I recollect in the 80s, there came a story out about how that eastern Kentucky had a very low percent of its population who has a high school diploma, dropouts, which completely surprised all of us. Well, I went over to see Al Smith at his office in London at the newspaper, when he owned that paper there. And we talked about the problem. At his invitation, and we called a summit over at Shakertown that he helped put together, civic leaders, educators, and so on. And we brainstormed the problem at length. And out of those discussions came an organization that you've probably heard of called Forward in the Fifth, an effort aimed at trying to get more people with high school diplomas. It's amazing what that sort of sparked. I think eventually that spark led to a fire that led to the passage of education reform in Kentucky in those days, and it's still working. But the quality of the education in my district has improved 10 million %, and a lot of it was due to Al Smith. And I want to pay tribute to that gentleman today, and thank you for allowing me to do so, Governor. Governor Beshear and I are proud to announce $14.2 million for 6 projects in 5 counties, including Harlan, Floyd, Laurel, Morgan, and Perry counties. The $14.2 million, part of the Abandoned Mine Lands pilot program that I earmarked. Yes, I'll use that word. And oh, by the way, we just decided to restart doing earmarks on the federal level. And that's good news for Kentucky, Governor. But I started this Abandoned Mine Lands pilot program at a time when we did not have earmarks. The money is earmarked to go to 3 states who have the largest number of abandoned mines projects: Kentucky, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia, and Ohio. And the idea was that we would allow the Office of Surface Mining in D.C. to judge applications from, in my case, Kentucky, and it would then be eventually the money sent to the state to administer the funds and make the grants. And that's why we're here today. When I started this project as chairman of the Appropriations Committee in 2016, it was to help the heart of the coal country. After dozens of coal mines were shut down, sending some 12,000 eastern Kentucky coal miners to the unemployment line. We're still recovering from the war on coal. So these grant dollars are critical as we continue to rebuild and plan for a better future for our region. And speaking of building a better future, I want to recognize Colby Hall, who's with us today from the SOAR organization shaping our Appalachian region. Colby, where are you? Yeah, thank you. You're doing a great job at SOAR, the new SOAR director. The governor and I welcomed Colby as the new executive director in October. He's off to a great start. These projects perfectly align with the mission of SOAR to create jobs, improve our infrastructure, and generate more economic development in the near future. Colby has already been on the ground, meeting with local leaders, business owners, community members, to identify areas where we need to focus more resources to strengthen the whole of the region. So he knows how important this funding is to shape a brighter future. So far, I've been able to secure $130 million in AML pilot funds for Kentucky over the last 5 years. And we're working on another round of funding for 2021. Governor Beshear and Secretary Goodman are operating a highly competitive application process for projects to make sure that these federal funds have the greatest impact. Secretary Goodman's office has been flooded with these applications. But she's been a true workhorse on these projects, and we thank you, Madam Secretary, for the great work you've done. She's thorough in her review, and I think we can all see the results of her hard work today in these projects. Those projects are then vetted at the federal level by the Office of Surface Mining and Reclamation Enforcement for final approval. So our local project leaders have worked very hard to earn these grant awards today, involving the federal, state, and local operations. So here are the projects. Harlan County is receiving 2 grants, 2 separate projects in the Tri-Cities area, Cumberland, Benham, and Lynch. Backroads of Appalachia will receive $400,000 to retrofit a small building into the new Lynch Motorsports Welcome Center, which will be the centerpiece of a new recreational area for outdoor concerts and adventures in the Tri-Cities area of Harlan County. Without it, Harlan County also will receive a $1.5 million grant to bring natural gas service to the Harlan County Business Park, which will help create jobs in the Tri-Cities area of Cumberland, Benham, and Lynch. The third grant is for $2.05 million to build a new wheelwright water system plant in Floyd County. One of the most vital things we must have with us for job growth is reliable water and sewer infrastructure. Without it, we aren't even on the radar for business development, but this grant will go a long way to strengthen the water system in Floyd County. The fourth grant today is $3.769 million to purchase equipment for BPM Lumber in Laurel County, one of the largest producers of hardwood lumbers in Kentucky. BPM will be able to expand operations and put folks back to work who had been laid off during the pandemic. And then there's the Morgan County Project, Ecammi, the Eastern Kentucky Advanced Manufacturing Institute, the recipient of the fifth grant for $3 million to fund the Ecammi Advanced Robotic Instruction Project in Morgan County. Ecammi has successfully earned 3 AML pilot grants so far because Kathy Walker and her team are conducting impressive workforce training, preparing for our next generation of manufacturing professionals. That project fits right into the Silicon Holler program that we're pushing in our region. Finally, but not least, is a $3.5 million grant for Perry County and the city of Hazard to build a new treatment plant in Buckhorn. Hazard's aging water system has been deteriorating, like many others, and this project will help end the long-term water outages that folks have become all too familiar with in Perry County. So congratulations to all of today's recipients. You've done a great job on these projects thus far. We can't wait to see them completed. Thank you for your projects and your work. I brought my son Brendan with me today to let him see his beautiful capital, and he's soon to be a UK person. So Brendan, thanks for coming. Although we are announcing pockets of funding in only 5 counties today, it works together in concert with the AML projects that we've announced over the last 5 years across more than 20 counties across southern and eastern Kentucky. Whether we are providing grants to expand King's Daughters Medical Center in northeastern Kentucky, expanding cancer treatment options at the Pikeville Medical Center, or improving industrial parks in Ashland, Hazard, or London, all of these projects have one common theme, and that is job creation, to keep our people at home. I believe our best days are ahead of us, and I'm grateful to have a partner like Governor Beshear to help us meet our greatest needs in Kentucky's Appalachian region. Governor, thank you again for carrying out this important task for the people of Eastern Kentucky. Thank you for your great support.
Good morning, everyone. We're doing $14 million worth of investment today. Good morning, everyone. I am honored to be with you here today and to be joined by Congressman Hal Rogers, Energy and Environment Cabinet Secretary Rebekah Goodman, our local officials, and our community and private sector nonprofit leaders. It is so good to be able to gather, even a limited gathering, here in the Capitol Rotunda to announce this great news. This is a testament to the successful rollout of safe and effective COVID-19 vaccines, which combined with continued vigilance and care is allowing for a gradual but sustained easing of restrictions. We will win the war against COVID-19, and we will win it this year. And we are all looking forward to making similar announcements to what we're doing today in the very regions and the very areas in which the projects will help shape the future. But until then, until everybody can get their shot of hope, let's continue to protect one another, to mask up, to maintain social distance, to avoid unnecessary crowds and travel. That's how we make sure that as we get closer and closer to this light at the end of the tunnel, that we bring everybody with us. And my belief is if we have been fortunate enough to have that vaccine, we owe a duty to everybody who hasn't had that chance until they can get their shot of hope. We are vaccinating faster and faster every week, getting closer to that day when we can all join here together without masks. In less than 2 weeks, we've vaccinated more than 300,000 Kentuckians with their first dose. And now, as we stand here today, just about 1.2 million Kentuckians have received at least their first shot of hope. That is really exciting news. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank all the local leaders that are here, that in their communities have pushed for people to do the right things, that have tried to protect your communities and set the good example. You know, we run for office for a lot of reasons. We run to improve our economies. We run to improve the lives of the people that we serve. But I don't think any of us thought that we would be fighting day in and day out for the very lives of the people that we serve. So thank you for your diligence. Thank you for your work. Let's keep it up until we win this war. This year's projects couldn't come at a more crucial time for the citizens of Kentucky and for Eastern Kentucky in particular. We are emerging from a global health pandemic that has turned all of our lives upside down, that has taken more than 5,500 Kentuckians from us. That means 5,500 families that are grieving, 5,500 communities that are missing those individuals. And it has caused unprecedented economic harm. Just weeks ago, if this wasn't enough to be hit by, we saw 3 damaging ice storms followed by the worst flash flooding in my lifetime. As Congressman Rogers mentioned, Eastern Kentucky took the toughest hit from all of these storms and is still reeling. The cleanup and the recovery will take time and effort, but know that we are working tirelessly to be there for those in need, and we are fully committed to a complete rebuild and recovery. I declared a state of emergency on February 28th and activated the National Guard, which responded in multiple counties to help multiple people in need. To hear the stories of the heroism of them, of our local emergency management groups, of the Kentucky State Police, our sheriffs, our firefighters, is incredible. Hearing the story in Estill County about the helicopter rescue of a woman trapped on her second floor that would not have survived and was already far too cold at that point. To walk around in the Boyd County Warming Center and talk to individuals that have been picked up by the National Guard that had their dialysis machines plugged in, that didn't have any power in their homes, shows what the work of everybody coming together in a time of need can do. No Democrats, no Republicans, just our citizens in need of help, and just us all trying to respond as best we can. Rocky and I have been on the ground and in the air to personally view the damage and to meet with local officials and those in need. We've traveled to Boyd, Lee, and Perry counties, flown over Breathitt, Estill, Clay, and the other counties in the impacted region. We were there to listen. We were there to listen to the local concerns and perspectives, so when making the right decisions, we could make sure that we had the right information and that the people of Eastern Kentucky got what they needed. We've delivered tens of thousands of gallons of clean water and a similar number of meals to those in need. Teams from FEMA and the Kentucky Emergency Management have hit the ground making detailed assessments, and last Friday my administration submitted a formal request to President Biden to secure a major disaster declaration for the ice storms, which will free up more money and more resources to help Eastern Kentucky bounce back from this damaging blow. The amounts were staggering on that application. The amount of damage that just the ice storms alone did was so significant. We are continuing to work on the declaration for the flooding events. As Congressman Rogers said, this is the worst flash flooding event, at least in emergency management, that we have ever seen. We have lost more homes and had more homes documented for damage than in any flash flooding event in our history. And you can bet that I will continue to push and push and push to secure individual assistance in the presidential declaration for that disaster. I appreciate our federal delegation. We asked them to submit support for both the ice and the flooding events. We have seen that. We have asked for them to push for that individual assistance, and we have gotten confirmation that they indeed will. Again, no Democrats, no Republicans, just Kentuckians in need of that help. But today we're here to announce projects that will help the Commonwealth and help Eastern Kentucky emerge from these historic storms, these difficulties, these repeated gut punches, and this deadly pandemic. These 6 projects have been selected to receive $14.2 million from the AML program. These projects and this program are moving Eastern Kentucky and the entire Commonwealth forward as we work to build that better Kentucky that all of our children, but more than that, all of our people truly deserve. The AML pilot program is a key component to building the stronger, better Eastern Kentucky that I know its residents have been waiting on for far, far too long. An Eastern Kentucky with diverse opportunities for a variety of skills and interests that attract not just jobs, but good-paying jobs. The type of jobs you can raise your family on and the type of jobs that your kids stay in the region because of the hope and the opportunity that they offer. An Eastern Kentucky that embraces these opportunities is one that honors the hard work of its past, but creates a vibrant future. I know our Eastern Kentucky families have felt and still feel forgotten and ignored. With all the promises in the past that have been made, without a sufficient amount of progress to be able to point to, we have to understand those feelings. But they ought to motivate us further. That just because we haven't produced as a state in the past for this region doesn't mean we can't right now and moving into the future. And why not us? And why not now? And why not Eastern Kentucky? As we emerge from this COVID pandemic, the economy is going to be forever changed, with people not looking for places of density like New York and LA in the same way, with investors looking to transform regions to better the lives of people, and more dollars flowing into companies that are willing to do so. So at a time where we're going to see the most dramatic change in our economy in our lifetimes, why not Eastern Kentucky? To do that, we got to continue doing what we are doing here, to invest, to make sure that infrastructure is there, and to provide real opportunity. But let's be bolder than that. We've got $2.4 billion coming from the federal government. $2.4 billion. We will never have another time in our lives when we can jumpstart, revolutionize, and change our economy for the better than right now. $2.4 billion gives us an opportunity to provide clean drinking water to every single Kentucky county. It provides us the opportunity to have sufficient water and sewer to support the type of jobs that we want in Eastern Kentucky and everywhere else. It gives us the type of funding to run fiber and provide broadband to every single home in our Commonwealth. That gives us the power and the opportunity to truly move out of the past and sprint into our future. I presented a plan to legislative leadership on how I think we can do that, and the conversations are going well. But I hope, in fact, I pray, because this is the opportunity placed in front of us, that we take advantage of it. Other states are going to. We've got to sprint ahead, while at the same time making sure that we do not fumble what will be a once-in-a-generational opportunity to improve the lives for all Kentuckians, and I believe especially Eastern Kentuckians. I think Congressman Rogers mentioned this, but the work on the AML program has been incredible for Kentucky. $130 million awarded to Kentucky for great projects that create jobs, that create opportunity for more jobs, that provide that clean drinking water and sewer. It's funding that is so important that we have got to make sure that we continue forward with the program and to award it to the most deserving projects that are ready to go, right? We have to operate with a sense of urgency, and I know that's how we conduct this program, where we know that the decisions we make and the investments we make in the next 5 years are going to be what sets up the next 50 years. And that might sound a little impatient, but when you're a 43-year-old governor and you're going to live in the economy and work in the economy that we build together, and your kids are going to grow up in it, I think that sense of urgency is what can set us apart. This, I think, is our chance and our time. We are seeing companies flowing to Eastern Kentucky like AppHarvest that are some of the most exciting opportunities all across Kentucky. Think about that. Our newest publicly traded company is headquartered right there in Eastern Kentucky. I think that means our possibilities moving forward are maybe even bigger and broader than we had ever imagined. Today's grants are going to directly help Harlan, Floyd, Laurel, Morgan, and Perry counties, and range from the construction of water treatment plants to hands-on training for the jobs of the future, including in robotics. These projects will help revitalize coal fields in Kentucky's Appalachian region by creating good-paying jobs. You know, the pandemic was hard this last year, but one of the things that I'm most proud of is the jobs we announced last year had the second highest average pay in our history. Not just a job, but a good job that truly helps our people. These projects this year are a testament to this program and show what it can do when everybody comes together, putting the interests of our families ahead of anything else, focusing on what people really care about, that good job that puts food on their table, the ability to see a doctor without going bankrupt, the chance for their kids to have a better life than they've had. Those are the things we dream and we care about. And today we're prioritizing them, and we ought to be doing that in this building every day moving forward. Working together, there's nothing we can't overcome. And if this pandemic has taught us something, it doesn't matter if we have a D or an R behind our name, we are all connected in a fundamental, close way that sometimes is as important as the difference in life and death. So let's keep our eye on the ball. Let's continue to help Eastern Kentucky and all of Kentucky thrive. Projects like the 6 announced today are going to play a crucial role in moving this state forward, particularly in Eastern Kentucky as we emerge from this pandemic. Congratulations to everybody who helped make these happen. I know these are a good day for your communities, but I tell you what, this isn't going to be the only announcement. Let's make them day after day after day. Investments in infrastructure, new jobs, new companies, new opportunities, healthier rural hospitals. Let's get out there and build that world that we have always wanted for our kids and our kids' kids. Thank you very much. Got to do them both.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you very much. Now we're going to hear from the people who are going to make each of these projects successful. You're going to hear from the locals who have spearheaded the effort to put together these applications and to push them through the process, and we're very happy to hear from them today. So as we ask you to come up, please come up to the microphone, and we'll ask that you hold your comments to 2 or 3 minutes, but we want to hear from you about your project. First is Eric Hubbard, who was born and raised in Letcher County, Kentucky. He's the son of a disabled coal miner. He traveled around the globe while enlisted with the U.S. Navy. Thank you for your service. He brought his training back home to Eastern Kentucky and started a nonprofit, the Backroads of Appalachia. His nonprofit works with FIE's Transformational Employment Program, employing women in recovery through the Cumberland Hope Center. But he's a biker at heart, and he's speaking today on behalf of the Lynch Motorsports Welcome Center Project.
Well, a boy from Yellowton, Kentucky. Who would have thought? My name is Eric Hubbard. I just want to take the opportunity and thank Congressman, Governor, and you. Our purpose is simple: to give people hope in our region. And how do we go by doing that? We created roads, not just for Harlan County, but all of Eastern Kentucky. Our grandfathers and generations before them built some of the best roads in the country for things I like to do, which is riding motorcycles. When I go to other states and I look at competition and what they have to offer versus my roads where I'm from, they ain't got nothing. That's what we done, formed Backroads of Appalachia with a wonderful group of people that I asked to come. Our sole purpose in life is economic development to a region that's in dire need. How do we go by doing that? We trademark roads and promote them. We bring people like me that's got a big old heart, that likes to spend their money and support the mom and pop places. It's really worked pretty well, or I guess I wouldn't be standing here. So, with that, we thank you. The money that you all are granting us will go to our Lynch Welcome Center, where we will use it to establish a growth and base for our people that we have through a workforce transition program, to take pride of being from Eastern Kentucky, talk about Eastern Kentucky, learn tourism, learn promoting, where they can let their wings out and just take off and fly. So with that as well, besides motorcycles, we, thanks to the governor, state parks and state, we had rally car racing last year. Wow, first time in Kentucky. We're having a hill climb event, national hill climb event, in April 30th to the May 2nd. So that should be a pretty neat thing too in Eastern Kentucky, bringing economic development in through motorsports. We want to make Kentucky, Eastern Kentucky especially, the mecca of motorsports. I do thank you. I appreciate everybody, and I'll be quiet now.
Next, we're going to hear from Dan Mosley, the County Judge Executive of Harlan County. He's a strong proponent of diversification to grow the local economy. He's fought for jobs in the region and combats youth homelessness with the Cumberland Hope Village Project. He's the son of a coal miner and was recently elected president of the Kentucky County Judge Executive Association for 2021, and he's speaking on behalf of the Harlan County Gas Project.
Thank you, Governor Beshear and Congressman Rogers. We appreciate your support and recognizing the immense economic impact that this project will have on Harlan County and economic development in Harlan County for the future. Natural gas has been a missing link for us in our ability to respond to requests for information from prospective companies. This project will change that. As a result of this award, Harlan County will have, for the first time in its history, the availability of natural gas for businesses that choose to locate in our community. Investments in infrastructure in communities throughout Eastern Kentucky are crucial if we are to be successful in diversifying our economy. This award will elevate Harlan County Business Park, the only industrial site with Kentucky's certified Build Ready certification south of I-64 and east of I-75, and it will allow our community to be competitive in the site selection processes as we advance Eastern Kentucky's profile among targeted industries. Thank you both for your confidence in our ability to see this project to fruition. I want to thank the AML committee as well, Secretary Goodman, Rocky, Karen, Commissioner Taylor, all the folks involved in the Economic Development Cabinet as well for recognizing what significant local investment that we have made in economic development thus far. We're very excited also about the Backroads of Appalachia project. Tourism is our low-hanging fruit. Eric Hubbard and his group are doing a tremendous job in helping us build and grow that to showcase our beautiful mountains even more. Governor, Congressman, we look forward to having you both in Harlan County when new jobs are announced as a result of industry taking advantage of this resource, and I firmly believe that it's just a matter of time. Thank you.
Next, we'll hear from the Floyd County Judge Executive, Robbie Williams, who attended Morehead State University. I guess we have more than one Morehead graduate here today. With a degree in business administration. Before he was elected to office, Williams worked as an accountant and is always looking to rejuvenate, revitalize, and jumpstart the economy of Floyd County. And he's speaking today on behalf of the Floyd County Water Project.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm Floyd County Judge Executive Robbie Williams, and I'm here with Wheelwright Mayor Don Hall. On behalf of the Mayor, the City Council, the Utility Commission, and the residents of Wheelwright, we would like to thank Congressman Rogers and Governor Beshear for the AML grant, which will provide much-needed funding to replace the 89-year-old Wheelwright water plant. Needless to say, it's been a long time coming. Congressman Rogers and Governor Beshear, I want to sincerely thank you for your leadership and commitment to our region. As counties and local governments struggle to find their footing, your support means more to us than ever before. The new water system not only will provide safe and secure source of water for residents of Wheelwright, but will enhance our economic development opportunities in the county. The recent reopened Southeastern Correctional Facility in Wheelwright is a great example of the opportunities that come along with sustainable infrastructure. The prison will create over 250 much-needed state jobs in the town and could not have been considered without these infrastructure upgrades. So again, thank you both. We certainly appreciate your help.
Next, we're going to hear from Richard Sturgill, who's the chairman of BPM Lumber and the president of Mountain Energy, LLC. He's a member of the Board of Trustees at Pikeville College and Cardinal Hill Hospital, serves on the advisory board of the University of Kentucky Center for Applied Energy Research, and the board of Fifth Third Bank Corporation. He's speaking on behalf of the BPM Lumber Project and BPM Lumber President Joe Foley.
Good morning. My name is Richard Sturgill with BPM Lumber. And Governor, I must say, it's great to be able to gather a little bit. And you've done a wonderful job with the pandemic. On behalf of BPM's employees, we want to thank Governor Beshear and Congressman Rogers for making this award possible. This grant will bring the latest optimizing technology to Kentucky's $13 billion hardwood industry. The coal fields are in desperate need of jobs and expanded industry. It is our hope that this important grant will help meet that need. Thank you very much.
Next, we're going to hear from Kathy Walker, a former executive in energy and banking industries, founder and director of the Haas Kentucky Advanced Manufacturing Institute, better known as Ecammi, a project that has received national attention. She's speaking on behalf of the Ecammi Project, and we also have John Will Stacy, the county judge executive, who is here as well.
Thank you. Congressman Rogers, Governor Beshear, Secretary Goodman, and the team of the Division of Abandoned Mine Lands, we're deeply grateful to receive this AML funding, which will enable Ecammi to expand its most successful workforce development project to address a very worthwhile cause, criminal justice reform. In collaboration with the Kentucky Department of Corrections, Ecammi will utilize this AML funding to construct a new high-tech training center on the grounds of the Commonwealth's largest correctional facility in Morgan County, the Eastern Kentucky Correctional Complex. Offenders who are enrolled in the program will earn national credentials in 21st century advanced manufacturing, more specifically automation and robotics. The 21st century advanced manufacturing suffers from highly skilled workers, and so we are looking forward to providing the inmates opportunities for successful re-entry into society by providing meaningful employment opportunity in the industry. I look forward to Kentucky continuing to lead the way in criminal justice reform. And thanks to everyone, this has been a collaborative effort that touches nearly every cabinet in government. And I appreciate your support. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. I don't think that I can add anything to what Kathy said about this project, except that, these funds that have come for this project and all the other projects today, they're sort of answer to a prayer, Governor. And I really believe that these budget items, they are the answer to the region's prayers, Congressman Rogers. And that's part of what guides this nation and this country. It's easy for us to stand here today and take credit for projects that we've done. But, Governor, as I know you're a true believer, there's always a guiding hand that's guiding all of our actions, Madam Secretary. And that guiding hand has put one of the things that has put in place here today is put the right people in the right positions at the right time. And that's the reason people like Rocky Adkins and Congressman Rogers are here. But I want to specifically state that, Governor, I want to commend you on a great job you're doing and how you're guiding this state through this COVID crisis skillfully. When you look at the national map each day, you can always see Kentucky as among the lowest in the nation in the number of cases, and that kind of makes me proud of our state, Rocky. And there's, as we were just standing back there, I was talking to my state representative, Bobby McCool. There is a lot to be said of good things that are coming for Eastern Kentucky right now. I just got a text message saying that we had gotten $453,000 in my little bitty county for COVID relief money. Thank you, Governor. So let's be thankful for all that we're receiving, and let's continue to work together, because these projects are important for all of us, because the better one of us does, the better we all do. So I want to say thank you, Congressman, and thank you, Governor. You're doing a great job, and we appreciate it. And we'll be back and ask for more. And we know that your heart is in the right place, because it's sometimes I've served in the General Assembly for 22 years, and not always was it so easy to get help from or attention from that office right there. But this guy, this Governor Rocky, he must have been from Elliott County or somewhere, because he's fantastic. And whenever there's a raindrop that hits or the wind blows, he's there, and he's always there to help with his hand out, and he's just like one of us. We appreciate you, Governor. Thank you very much.
Next, we have Hazard Mayor Donald Happy Mobilini, who has served the Hazard Independent School System for 37 years as both a principal and an assistant principal. God bless you. He graduated from Union College and was elected mayor in 2019. He is speaking today on behalf of the Perry County Water Project, and I believe we have Scott Alexander here, the Perry County Judge Executive, who will speak as well.
Thank you all, but today restores my faith in our government. I've only been the mayor 2 years. I've been the principal for 37, and I'm still the principal. And we have a real big ball game tonight, just like everybody else, but we got to get home for that. But when I first won the mayor, I talked to Scott, and I couldn't find a better county judge to work with than Scott and myself. It's sort of like it says Team Kentucky, we're Team Perry, and we're part of Team Kentucky. And we try to do everything together, because if it's good for the city of Hazard, it's good for the county. And, you know, we tore those lines down of trying to compete against each other. But when I first won, we set up a meeting with Andrea and Karen, and we got to meet Congressman Rogers. And we just went over, you know, I'm brand new at this, and I told him, we need a new water plant in Buckhorn. You know, Buckhorn's the smallest little town in Perry County. It may have 250 residents. They were without water for 37 days at one time. I know Senator Smith and Representative Fugit, y'all helped me with that. We meet with them every month to try to do this. But this new water plant will really help the people of Buckhorn all down 28, but it will really help our industrial park. We've had several people, like the governor was talking about a while ago, talking about this app harvest. You know, we've got, like Harlan and everybody else, we got those abandoned strip mines. It's perfect, but we've got to be able to get water to them. Also, this water plant will also be able to service Owsley County, Clay County, Breathitt County, so it won't just be Hazard and Perry County, it's a regional thing. And then with this other part of it, we'll have an interconnect, because what me and Scott have done with our commissioners and magistrates and representatives and senators, try to come up with a long-term fix and a short-term fix for our aging water structure. And like the governor said, this money's not going to come around every time. But I go to Mr. Rogers with a dream, and now he's put it on the map that within the next cycle or something, we should be able to have that water plant over there on 28 and taking it off the tailwaters of Buckhorn or the Middle Fork. Also, you know, Eastern Kentucky has been hit hard, and this has restored my faith too. Scott and I we went to Booneville. We took stuff over there. We went to Badeville. But every place we've been, we've seen Rocky and the governor. And you know, Eastern Kentucky, I love history. I'm a history teacher. We're the first people to volunteer for the wars. We're the first people to be drafted. We're also the first people you call when you got a problem, because we'll come to you. And when I saw the governor, we just have a couple families on this little road that's completely washed out. But there's a kid up there, he's in kindergarten. And he has to come by that road that's washed out every day. They have to park here. He's not missed a day of school. His mom and them make sure he gets there. And Governor, you'd have to admit, he's probably the happiest kid you've ever met in your life. He didn't see that road. He didn't see it as an obstacle or anything. He just saw he has to go down here and catch the bus, and he has to walk, you know, maybe a mile and a half to catch it. But there's no way words could explain how much we appreciate it at Hazard of what y'all doing. Thank you. One other thing about the vaccine. I am still the principal, We have 100% of our high school vaccinated. And we're having a meeting at 2 o'clock with every kid over 16 to pass out paperwork and stuff. I mean, if you can get the vaccine, if it's in your county, encourage everybody to get it, and then we'll get back to normal. Thank you.
I have the pleasure now of introducing someone who really needs no introduction. He's an Eastern Kentuckian, and if you talk to him for 5 minutes, you know he's an Eastern Kentuckian. Rocky Adkins has served Kentuckians in the State House since 1987. He served in leadership roles until 2019. He sponsored and supported legislation improving the retirement system, the education system. He has introduced legislation supporting the state's energy policies. He served on more boards and commissions than I can even list right now. But it's fitting, as we're right in the middle of March Madness, that I also tell you that he was co-captain of Moorhead's basketball team, the Eagles, back in the day. And I bet if you ask him today, he'll tell you he's still got game. Senior Advisor Rocky Adkins.
And I'm honored to be here today. I'm honored to be here with the leaders of our region. The leaders of our region who are trying to make a difference. Two of those leaders, one from Eastern Kentucky and the other that may as well be, is Congressman Hal Rogers and our Governor Andy Beshear. It's been an honor for me to practically be raised in this building. I came here as a 26-year-old, not just somebody from Eastern Kentucky, but somebody that still lives in Eastern Kentucky. And I think you all understand the pride that I carry for our region. When people talk about just the last year, I talk about the last 15 years. A downturn in our coal economy with thousands of jobs lost directly and indirectly in our coal industry. A vision and leadership that I have seen that is willing to emerge from that. And then after that 15 years, this last year of a global pandemic, ice storms and floods. And it's kind of who we are as Eastern Kentuckians to know how to get up and dust ourselves off and find that path forward to bring hope and opportunity to our people. It's been an honor for me to work with Congressman Rogers for many, many years now, and with Governor Beshear as well. As all of us, whether Democrat or Republican, have come together in a bipartisan way because this is about people. And it's about how we bring hope and opportunity to our region, how we diversify our economy for a better day, how we create the new jobs of the future, and how we make sure that a depopulating region, which infuriates me, has hope and opportunity once again for its people to live in our region and raise their family there, put food on their table and a roof over their head. That's my hope. And what we see today is investment in our region. You know, Congressman, I served on this panel that helped review with the Secretary and with your right arm, standing right over here, Karen. And I want you to know how competitive this was. And you ought to feel good about being able to stand here today because out of $25 million, which the Congressman appropriated and has now for several years, there was $278 million in applications for $25 million. And I hope the press here today sees how that money is being dispersed to create jobs, to invest in infrastructure, to promote tourism, to bring people to our region every fashion that we possibly can, to grow our industrial parks, to do the things that we have to do to be more competitive and create the jobs of the future. You know, I work with a guy every day now that gets it. He understands it. He's working with Congressman Rogers and others in this room, the leaders of our communities, to make sure we have the roads, the infrastructure, the broadband, all of those things that are so important. Investment in education, investment in our people. This is an exciting day. I've had the opportunity over those years to work with many in this rotunda that I see here today, and I want to mention them because they walk the halls here today, just like I still do. From the state Senate, I know Brandon Storm is there. Brandon, wave back there. Brandon serves the Laurel County area, down in that area. It's good to see you here today. Welcome. It's good to have Representative Chris Fugit here today from the Perry County area. State Representative Ashley Tackett Lafferty standing in the back here with the Floyd County folks. Representative Bobby McCool, where you at, Bobby? Bobby's back there representing Johnson, Morgan, and Wolfe counties. State Representative Brandon Smith. Brandon, I don't know all the counties you've got, but you've got a bunch of them. I know that. All that big circle. You've got probably three projects here today, I think. And State Senator Johnny Turner, who is back in the back, Harlan County represented here today. County Judge David Westerfield, I saw you come in a minute ago. Where are you? It's good to see you, sir. We've been on the phone back and forth with each other many times. It's good to see you here today. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I know the mayor of West Liberty is here. Mark, where you at? I know you're back there someplace. I know that the mayor of Wheelwright was mentioned, Mayor Hall was mentioned a minute ago back there. Congratulations to you, my friend. And I know I'm going to miss somebody like my former colleague that we served in the House with, City Commissioner over here, Fitz Steele. Fitz, it's great to see you. Glad you're here today. Chris Fugit is here from Hazard. I think I mentioned Chris. I'm sorry, but if I didn't, I apologize. I'm not going to argue with you. I might be able to outrun you, but I'm not going to argue with you. Let me just say that today is a great day for our community. It's outstanding. Many of you know that our fight is ahead. For folks to have the vision of what it takes to rebuild an economy, to diversify our economy in many of the areas that has already been mentioned here today is so important to all of us. And I know everyone in this rotunda today is just like me. I'm an Eastern Kentuckian from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet, and I'm proud of it. And we need to make sure that we work together, that we cross party lines, that we cross county lines, and we work together to make sure that we bring that hope and opportunity back to our people. With the investment already of $130 million is only a start to what we can mention has been invested for the last 30 years to help us in that diversification. These are exciting projects here today. Folks, it's just like when I played in that 1983 NCAA game for Coach Wayne Martin. When I had a pretty good game and I came to the bench and had several assists and a few points, he said, "Are you satisfied? We got another game tomorrow." Well, folks, let's not be satisfied. Let's keep moving forward. Our people have earned it, and our people deserve it. Governor, thank you for your leadership. Hal Rogers, thank you for your leadership. Our Lieutenant Governor who just stepped in. Folks, this is a team effort. There is no I in team, but there is an I in win. Let's make it happen. Congratulations to all of you. We look forward to working with you in the future as we make and bring everything that is needed to Eastern Kentucky so our people can live out their hopes and dreams. Thank you all so much. If they want to get pictures of the group, you want to let them? If you all kind of in individual groups, if you want to kind of spread out, get up here, get a picture with your groups, feel free to do that as soon as we adjourn the meeting. Thank you all again.